Today we're going to be talking about angle relationships, and this is our third cheat sheet that we have. So we're going to start with parallel lines and transversals. Okay, when parallel lines are cut by a transversal, 8 different angles are formed. Okay, so here we have an angle labeled A. So A, that is this part right here. Let me highlight it in yellow. Is congruent to any other angle labeled A. So that means all of those are highlighted in yellow are the same value. They're equal measures. Okay. The angle labeled B, so let's highlight that in blue, is congruent to any other angle labeled B. So all of these in blue, all of those blue angles are the same angles because congruent means that they are this equal value, the same value. Okay. And lastly, on parallels and lines and transversals, angle labeled A is supplementary. To any angle labeled B. So that means that the yellow angles plus the blue angles are equal to 180 degrees because supplementary means 180 degrees. Okay, and let's put it like that. Okay, so angle A and A plus angle B will equal 100 degrees. That means if we were looking at these two angles right here, those are 180 degrees, right? If we were looking at these two angles here, they would be 180 degrees. Let's look at types of angle pairs. So these, you do not have to memorize the names. That's for geometry for high school, but you do have to memorize what they have in common. Okay, so here, these are going to be corresponding angles. Corresponding angles. And those are whenever we have like the parallel lines and then this is the transversal, right? They are in that same corner of the box, right? So they have the same relative position. And these are congruent angles, so that means they are the same value. Okay. Next, we have alternate exterior angles. These are angles that are, here we have opposite sides of transversal and outside parallel lines. So that means that whenever, like here's the parallel lines, we're talking about exterior, so outside of the parallel lines, and they're on the opposite sides of the transversal. So you see how this one's on this side and then the other one is on the other side. So these are congruent angles, so that means that these are the same measure. Okay, these right here are the same measure. If this was 92 degrees, then this would also be 92 degrees. Okay. The next one is alternate interior angles. Okay, so here we have two parallel lines and the angles are inside of the parallel lines and they're alternating, so they're on opposite sides of the transversal. Okay, these are also congruent, so that means that this angle and this angle are the same measure. Okay, and the last one here is vertical angles. Okay, vertical angles are opposite angles formed by intersecting lines. So here we have an intersection, and the ones are opposite to each other, like just like this, right? Those are congruent angles, so they are the same measure. Next, let's talk about angles in triangles. We have the sum of 3 interior angles in any triangle will add up to 180 degrees. Okay, so that means that when you have a triangle, angle A, angle B, angle C, when you add them together, it becomes 180 degrees. Okay. In the exterior angles, any exterior angle of the triangle is equal to the sum of its 2 remote interior angles, and we'll talk about what those are. Okay, so they're saying this exterior angle, angle D, is the same measure as if you were wanting to add angle C and B together. Okay, so think of it like here's your outside angle. It's the same measure as the angle opposite to each other. So these right here. Okay, so angle D is the same as angle B plus angle C. And the last one that we're going to talk about are angle criterion. If two triangles have two pairs of corresponding angles that are congruent, the triangles are similar. Okay, so that means that here, this triangle ABC is the same triangle. It's the same triangle with the same measures as FDE, because they have 32 here, then they have 80 here, and so it's basically this triangle is just rotated to fit the other triangle. Okay, the way you would write this is triangle ABC is the same as DEF. The reason it's DEF because we start with D. You see D and A, they're both 80 degrees, right? E has the blank, and then that would be the B, and then F would be the C, right, which is the 32.